today, and it was like,
Sounds good. We have the affirmative that the stream should be back up. So
why did it die? I'm so confused.
we should be A-okay to be getting into the champion select.
Thanks for waiting. So much. Lots and lots and. Why? I'm so confused of why. Darn it.
Oh, potentially technical difficulties on our side here.
Oh, it's not just me.
We might have to potentially just rely on audio.
Oh, yes, why you do this to me? Alright, so I got this. Can help him. Run as administrator. Preview stream. And still not wanting to get. My camera will go. Why won't my league go? Mobile sources.
Chat OP. Alright, stream is good.
Stream's good. Okay. Ah, there we go. Alright, I'm going to hop out of the game as my voice is completely tagged. Alright, but Rick, you guys got this, and I hope you guys all have a good night. Bye. I love you.
Thank you. Have a good night, sir. And we are ready to start the finals of the Not So Stock Friday Night Open Bracket Tournament. We have Team Time Devourers versus Team Storybell Last Week. Not sure which is which, though. Potentially, I Am Fearless? Yeah. So we have Team Time Devourers on the blue side and Team Storybell Last Week on the red side. Or the purple side, what have you. And the Nidalee is the first band coming up, followed pretty quickly by Morgana. Morgana, very OP support. Nidalee being taken into the jungle pretty recently in the new patch to quite effectively. We see a Maokai band out. Very strong top laner. Great in team fights. His ult, of course, reduces all incoming damage, I believe. We see Vi as the second man. Not surprised there. Vi is extremely strong at all stages of the game. LeBlanc will be the final ban from the blue team. Very mobile mid lane mage assassin there, and the Irelia will be the final ban. So seeing quite a variety of bans. You know, Nidalee could be taken top, middle, or into the jungle. Maokai top, LeBlanc mid. So it's a pretty strong ban. So Victor is the first pick for the blue team. Victor, pretty powerful when played correctly. Be interesting if... I don't think we'll see a Bard this game, although he did just become available. See Annie Hubbard. Annie, very strong support, but also possible to take her into the mid lane. And Ezreal. So we might be seeing the bottom lane here. Of course, that Annie stun always crazy, especially when she has that flash. Tibbers engage. Ezreal can just pop all his stuff onto a stunned opponent and just burst them down. But we see the last second Zed switch followed by an immediate Sion Thresh lock-in right back over to the red team, who we see a Ashe. Of course, Ashe with her own pretty impressive stun from her ultimate. So we saw Sion played before. I think Tommy said maybe less team oriented. Not sure. We see the Rengar. Rengar, pretty strong jungler. Fizz, Malphite. Malphite can be taken to the top lane. Well, I haven't seen a lot of Malphite versus Sion, but Malphite is a viable top lane pick. Could see Fizz, and Fizz is locked in. That Playful Trickster able to get him out of those Victor ultimates, which are quite pesky and definitely follow you around. Not to mention his laser, which of course packs a punch. See Jarvan and Caitlyn immediately locked in. See, yeah, they do lock in the Jarvan as well. So definitely very CC oriented composition for this blue team with the Sion Thresh Jarvan ultimates. Be interesting to see the Sion pull off an ultimate and have the Jarvan follow up, and then have Caitlyn just being able to pick off people at a distance. We see Corki hovered over for the final pick on the red team. Corki is a very strong ADC, and it'll be good because he does a lot of his abilities do magic damage, so it'll definitely force the tanks on the blue team to not just be stacking armor or magic resist. Especially, the anti-support, very powerful, lots of AoE from, the Malphite Fizz jungle. So that'll be interesting. I don't know if I've seen super effective jungle Fizzes thus far, but obviously would not be picked unless Fearless feels there's nothing to fear from not going Fizz jungle. So we'll be getting into that spectator delay momentarily. I'll be just grabbing myself some water really quickly and be right back with you guys. Sorry about that, guys. Just a minute here. We'll be getting into the game. We have the Time Devourers on the blue side, and Sorry About Last Week on the red side. We've got a Scion in the top lane, Jarvan in the jungle, Victor in the mid lane, Caitlyn and Thresh in the bottom lane for the blue team, and a Malphite top lane. Fizz in the jungle, Zed in the mid lane, Corki and Annie in the bottom lane. Annie rocking that Ignite as opposed to Thresh with the exhaust. My goodness, we also see Victor with exhaust. So we have 2 Ignites on the red side versus 2 exhausts on the blue side. Aggression probably going to pay off here, but we will see if perhaps too much overextension will be their downfall. Fizz and Zed able to go super deep on those champions. We'll see the jungle Fizz, for it to be effective, he's definitely going to have to land his ultimates quite effectively. Seeing some cool skins coming out. The Headhunter Caitlyn, Warring Kingdoms, Jarvan 4, and Blood Moon Thresh on the blue side. And Tundra, Fizz, Shockblade, Zed, Fnatic, Corki, and Sweetheart Annie. The Sweetheart Annie, quite a new skin. Also the Fnatic Corki, fairly new. I mean, more like half a year, I guess. I believe the Fnatic set came out during or just after Fnatic got eliminated from the World Championships. And we have loaded into the Rift here for the finals match of the Not So Stock Open Bracket tournament. Looks like the blue team will all be moving towards their top jungle. We see red team already picking out that middle area there for just a spread out vision control of their side. But we see blue team immediately move around the Baron pit and not be seen by the red team, who are all gathering towards the bottom side jungle, pinging out just between the inner turret and the inhibitor turret. Probably going to try to get a ward there. The blue team themselves probably going to be no, not extending too far, just staying in that red team red buff area. Malphite and Zed moving. We will see Malphite be spotted out by that blue team ward there. We see Scion rotating out.
Minions have spawned.
So we do see blue team pinging out that Malphite, but he'll be rotating towards his top turret. Scion potentially looking to take this red buff. Malphite just walking through the vision of 3 wards, if not 4. We'll see Jarvan start the Krugs, going for that proc of the stun and the wave clear. The first poke going in Victor's favor. Scion will be killing himself to proc his passive and take that red buff, hopefully. Nice stun from Annie, able to land some poke. But some nice poke coming out from the Thresh. He lands the death sentence. Caitlyn just backing away, making sure she's got a farm. Corki was right on her the whole time. Ooh, Caitlyn missing that minion there with the Piltover Peacemaker. Being chunked down to below half, but Annie also quite low. So we see both sides hitting level 2 now. So Thresh has the Death Sentence Flay engage. Corki and Caitlyn pretty much even in farm. Oh, could you change the... Will be getting the death sentence lands. Thresh with the flay, but Caitlyn flash away. We'll see if first blood goes down here. It does to the Annie and the ignite. So the ignite paying off, but although the kill going over to the support, but of course a fed Annie, not a bad thing. That Valkyrie coming out big time from the Corki despite the Thresh flay. Thresh will connect onto the Annie just to interrupt her recall. We see some nice poke coming out from the Scion. The Annie comes out with the stun. Thresh will be taken pretty low here from those abilities and some minion aggro. Thresh doing his best to stall out the Annie recall, starting his recall himself. See some nice poke coming out from the Victor onto the Zed. Pretty much probably gonna see a lot of lane dominance there until Zed hits that level 6 and is able to go all in on the Victor. It looks like Malphite has recalled just to pick up either a Crystalline Flask or a Doran's Ring. Probably the Crystalline Flask, but he has used his teleport to get back into lane. Scion also, after of course dying to get that red buff, and up a level. I don't think he got that level 2 until he got into lane. But we see that Malphite is actually down 10 farm to the Scion. Fizz is down 6 farm to the Jarvan. Zed is actually up 8 farm over the Victor despite being poked down, but he has regained much of his health. The death sentence from the Thresh just missing. Caitlyn and Corki pretty much still even in farm. But the Thresh lands, the Phosphorus Bomb lands onto the Caitlyn, and she is forced to go away. Corki using his Gatling gun to shred Thresh, but Thresh landing the flay. Will the Annie go down? The Thresh does land the flay. Caitlyn gets the kill on to the Annie, but picks up a double kill on to the Corki. Will Thresh, Zed does not do enough damage with his death mark to finish off Victor. He does go deep looking to finish it off, but Malphite taking Scion quite low. Scion popping his Crystalline Flask. So even in kills now, red team just up 300 farm, 300 gold. Despite we see equal farm. Yeah, they're pretty much even up gold now. I was just looking at the farm differential between them and the fact that they both have 2 kills. I was just wondering why there's a 300 gold difference, but they're pretty much even now. The death sentence lands onto the Corki. Thresh does not follow up, and he gets both of them stunned out, but there is no follow up from the Corki. Caitlyn will land her Ignite account, but she is stunned out. The Ignite from the Annie comes up, and Corki will be able to Valkyrie and finish her off. Thresh stalling enough, trying to get this Jarvan enough time there. The Death Sentence lands onto the Annie. They're playing here. The Jarvan will flash out. Will Thresh go down here? The Gatling gun. Annie will not be able to get enough damage. That is a heartbreak. We see Jarvan now not quite able to go ham into these three, despite Fizz and Corki being taken quite low by some turret hits. We see the Zed going hard again, but he will be stunned out and not able to do enough damage. Will that turret hit finish him off? No. crazy engages and close calls here. Very high level plays, but we will see Sion able to take the first turret of the game. Oh my goodness, no, he flashes out before he can get that last hit in because Malphite ulted him. We see now Victor getting the kill onto Zed. Zed looks like he used his Bilgewater Cutlass earlier. That potentially not being available in that fight causing his downfall. So we see that Sion has increased his farm lead over this Malphite to 30. Quite a sizable, and still managing to keep his level lead as well. So despite that, the red team is up 100 gold. So we see the Gatling gun coming out because of the death sentence, missed the phosphorus bomb and the Corki ults, the stun from the Annie, and the Valkyrie rockets in from Corki. Another phosphorus bomb. Caitlyn taken quite low here by the Corki. But with that rage, we see the Jarvan coming in. Will he get the knockup? We see the Fizz going hard onto the Sion, completely caught out here, and Zed will be able to shadow and shuriken in. Corki with the kill onto the Jarvan. Caitlyn with a kill onto the Annie in response. So Sion simply using his passive to try to get some. We see the Zed going hard onto the Victor. It looks like he has enough damage. The shadow out of the Victor CC. The defining a move in that fight, not getting caught out. We see Caitlyn with the ace in the hole, just trying to, I guess, force Corki off. Corki 4-1 here with a Phage, so doing quite well against Caitlyn. The Flash Tibbers from Annie chunks Caitlyn down to below half health. We'll see if Thresh is taken low. Annie not wanting to take more than this, but takes down the Thresh. We see the Malphite flash in, and he will get the kill onto the Caitlyn. Malphite now with a chainmail, looking to build up the tank against the Sion, who just has pretty good stacking ability. Sion now with the Mercury Treads for that CC, going hard onto that top turret now. Zed and Malphite just taking out a pink ward, clearing that vision. Sion with the first hits onto this inner turret. We see Fizz is coming out to respond. So Sion will have to back up, but not before chunking down a good third of that turret health. Sion taking 2 turret hits there. The Fizz ult comes out, but Sion responds. Sion having to back away here. Fizz with the red buff gets the kill onto the Sion. Sion trying to come back with his passive. We see that the Malphite does come out there, so Sion won't be able to respond. A great kill for Fizz. Fizz now 1-0-1. So with a kill, he should be pretty much even with the Jarvan despite being down 10 farm. Was that another ace in the hole? A preemptive ace in the hole from the Caitlyn? Not sure why she used. We see the Malphite, no, the Sion teleport now for the first dragon of the game. The blue team should be able to take this. Red team, you know, with the Fizz recalling there, just not in position. The death sentence, but the Annie, the Tibbers, and the Jarvan ult with the Corki AoE, just unreal. The Zed going hard, but Victor with the shutdown and the double kill. Zed going hard, we'll see, so the Zed does pick up the kill on to the Victor. The Fizz is able to finish off the Caitlyn. We'll see, Zed goes hard on the Sion, running away now. Looks like Fizz will be able to pick him off regardless in a second here. Oh my goodness, the jukes from Sion, the slows, but Fizz goes in, lands the ult onto the Scion passive just to make sure that he can't do anything, not needing it in the fight. We see Malphite though responding for that dragon with this top outer turret, just tanking it up here. Malphite not just able to pick up a Ruby Stone, but hasn't died yet. We see the red team has increased their gold lead to 4,900. 5,000, not 4,900. Even in turrets, but up 9 kills. Blue team just responding with a dragon, not super crucial in terms of how far ahead the red team are in kills already. So we do see those challenger level players and the master just coming out a little bit on top of the diamond players. Caitlyn just kind of using those ults not to pick off, you know, those last hits. Zed not really minding, but the Thresh, and he goes hard onto the Caitlyn. He will be taken down. Caitlyn getting the shutdown onto the Zed. Zed not really able to do much against 4 members of the blue team. We see the blue team going hard right onto this middle inner turret. Fizz is coming out here. Malphite is rotating down. Annie is actually going hard onto that bottom inner turret, though. We see the death sentence comes out onto the Fizz. So much CC, and the Jarvan ultimate will finish him off. So, Corki and Annie able to take that blue inner turret, but the blue team taking the middle inner turret. We see the knock up from Jarvan onto the Malphite. He has to back off. More poke from the Scion. We see the Corki going hard onto the Thresh. He'll pick up the kill here. We see the Valkyrie and the flash Tibbers from Annie. We see Corki is not able to quite. He will flash for the double kill. He potentially could have just tried to ult through the wall. We see Annie getting the stun onto Scion. We see, was that Scion's ult? Scion? No, that was not Scion's ultimate. That was just him popping his shield. We see he does get the stun and the roar onto Annie. Zed taking a couple turrets here, but the red team picking up this middle outer turret. Corki blocking that ace in the hole. Caitlyn only with the average blade pick. We see Corki going hard onto the Victor. He takes him down. The Thresh getting the shutdown onto the Corki. Zed not quite with enough damage to finish off the Caitlyn. He also goes down. Annie being taken quite low by this Thresh. She gets a stun. We see the Fizz flashes in with his ultimate. He will finish off Thresh, but he has to Playful Trickster back onto the Jarvan, but he's looking to get away now. As Sai comes in, Scion landing the slow Jarvan with the ultimate, and is that? No, that's just 1 kill to each. Amazing plays coming out here from both teams. That Fizz going a little too ham there with that re-engage from his Playful Trickster, and the Jarvan ultimate just able to lock them down in that Cataclysm. So we see Malphite ulting over, trying to, he wants these double buffs from the Jarvan. Victor not able to lock him down with that CC. We now see Malphite on our rampage at 4-0-0 with Boots of Lucidity and a Sunfire Cape. So he's got that tankiness. He also lots of cooldown reduction for that his slow when he throws his rock. He also he seals speed actually from his opponent. So we see Corki going here for this blue team's red buff. We see Zed going in, the Tibbers ult from Annie onto the Scion, him being taken very low, and the Deathmark will take him down. Lots of damage coming out from the red team to chunk down Scion, who has not yet completed his first item. Tibbers taking these tower hits, but the Jarvan knock up and the Thresh CC onto this Malphite. Malphite is taking turret hits and he will go down here. The shutdown going over to the Jarvan, and also Victor picking off the Annie. Corki deftly avoiding that death sentence, trying to get some poke. The Victor CC Corki will be taken down by a Piltover Peacemaker. We see Zed going hard in onto the Thresh. He will be taken down onto the turret by the Jarvan. Both teams going ham. You see blue team looking to start their second dragon. And Baron is up in 1 minute, but the Fizz goes hard onto the Caitlyn and picks up the kill. But will be locked down by a Yordle trap. Jarvan looking to, he will use the Cataclysm onto the Fizz, but Fizz Annie will flash over the back wall to secure the kill. Fizz getting locked down by the Scion. Q. Oh, Fizz definitely avoiding the Scion ultimate, maybe popped a little too early. And red team has turned this around and they're looking to take this dragon for themselves, but looks like we'll see if they do manage to take that. They do have smites, and the Thresh Fizz will use it to take it down. Jarvan, of course, not available for his smite. And red team is clearing and pushing down this middle lane. Zed just going super hard onto the Victor, getting locked down immediately by a very good preemptive death sentence by the Thresh, right back onto his original Shadow Clone. We see Corki not finishing off that Wolf Camp. Jarvan smiting that away. Ooh, a blind bomb from the Corki will land right onto the Caitlyn. See the red team already warding out that Baron. A death sentence will not connect onto the Corki. Red team is still only 5k in the lead 10 minutes later. Or only 5 minutes later. Fizz has now increased his farm lead over the Jarvan 4 to 10. Scion actually not the Malphite chunking that farm differential from 30 to 20. We see the teleport coming in for the Scion. He'll get the lockdown on to the Malphite, but Victor is taken down by the Corki. The slows from Scion just locking down that red team. They're just going to push this bottom lane. Some pretty key sweepers lines spotting out those blue team wards. Zed doing a great job of that war clear. Corki picking off that last one. We see them looking to rotate and pick off this middle inner turret now. Malphite going hard, initiating right on to the Caitlyn. She is chunked down quite quickly, and Fizz taking down the Thresh. Fizz will get it with a sliver of health. The Jarvan being taken down by the Corki. A double kill from the Corki, actually a triple kill, because Corki took down the Caitlyn, but it wasn't, and the Scion passive just not able to pick off that Annie, one hit away. My goodness, we see Corki starting this blue camp. He does have enough damage. Corki now with a Trinity Force and a Bloodthirster. Not going for that Trinity Force Infinity Edge first. He will fail his Valkyrie over the back of the pick. We saw that, Corki, and we are disappointed. I've done that before. If you haven't, you're lying. Everyone's failed Flash, failed Zeds, failed this, failed that. We see Caitlyn with the ace in the hole onto the Zed. They're looking to get this kill hard. Will Zed get away? No, he will not. Victor with the clutch Q and the Jarvan with the Demacian standard knockup, able to finish him off. We see Malphite with the laughing taunts here. Malphite, very tanky. The Threshold coming out. Lots of CC, and the Death Sentence lands the Scion ult, will land onto the Fizz, but Jarvan is taken down. We see Caitlyn also taken down by the Malphite, and Fizz picking up a double kill onto the Scion. That is a 3-4-0 for the red team. 4-for-0. Sorry, excuse me. Right, of course that Scion passive. At the moment, we'll see Malphite laugh as he takes those tank hits. We see Fizz also taking turret hits. We saw a flash coming out from the Malphite as well. I think this is some major bad manners coming out here from the red team. Don't even need my Zhonya's. Heimerdinger. What's going on here? We see Fizz engaging hard onto the Jarvan, but Fizz has a Blade of the Ruin King. Fizz went unstoppable. We see Corki having a Valkyrie away. Now would have been the time for Caitlyn to use her ace in the hole. The one time that, for her to use it. There were plenty of other times where people went quite low, but anyways. We see Zed going hard, popping his Youmu's, but Caitlyn gets away. We see Victor coming out. Will Zed go hard? No, because Zed is taking these turret hits. Zed dying to the Victor. Just bad manners. Red team, I guess, just fully believing they are in control. Well, look at the Corki. 14-4-8. He's picked up a Zephyr. So, because Corki, of course, has to, have those Sorcerer's boots for that magic penetration with his abilities. We see him pick up a Quicksilver Sash, so he's looking to build a Mercurial Scimitar next. We see Zed and Fizz with their Blade of the Ruin King. Zed also with the Youmu's. He's probably with the pickaxe, and but he's also got double swords. So I don't know what he's going to build, but oh, he goes for a Last Whisper. Yes, the pickaxe sword, of course, Last Whisper. Classic Zed. We see Corki getting damage. The Death Sentence lands from the Thresh, but he lets that go very quickly. There's overwhelming presence and damage from this Corki. Oh no, Corki uses his Quicksilver Slash to get out of that. Very good use of that debuff. Probably saving his life there, actually. So we see now the red team is up 17 kills. Red team actually starting. Baron, we will see Scion ult in. He will miss everyone though. But the Jarvan ultimate, ultimately, they do take down Zed and he goes down. But Corki picking up a double kill. That is a 4-for-2. Malphite with the kill onto the Caitlyn. So much happening there. We see Thresh now death sentencing that Raptor camp to try to get away, but Corki with the Valkyrie, the Phosphorus Bomb misses, but he is getting those hits. We see Thresh, but he killed the minion with it. So we'll see Corki just go for this farm first. The jokes, this team fully on the red team side as the first Nexus turret goes down. The flash ultimate from the Corki to go legendary. 17-4-8. Thresh potentially thinking he was going to get out of there. We see the face check flash coming up from the Scion, but the Fizz ult takes him down. Fizz will flash over the wall to get away from the Scion passive, right into a Caitlyn, but Fizz is going hard onto this Victor. Victor gets the shutdown, but Zed soloed the dragon while these guys take the bottom inhibitor turret. We see the Jarvan initiate with the Cataclysm right onto the Annie. Annie goes down, but Corki is just putting out this damage. We see The Malphite ult, super effective. Is Caitlyn gonna get this Corki down? No, the Zed comes in and shuts her down. Corki escaping with a good, fair chunk of health. We'll see Sion not going in on this. Zed going hard, flashing out of the turret range. We see the Sion passive going in on the Corki. He will Valkyrie away, but Malphite is going hard onto this Nexus. Victor is up. He will take down Zed in one hit. But Malphite now teleporting to a minion right beside the Nexus. Being blue team unable to take him down. The Nexus goes down. So congratulations to Team Sorry about last week, who are victorious. At least I hope that is the right team. I hope I haven't been, identifying these teams, the wrong teams on the wrong sides the whole time. I'm sure Twitch chat, let me know if I'm an idiot or not. Congratulations anyways to the red team on their victory here. You saw, quite a bit of jokes, quite a bit of humor, some bad manners coming out in those final, 10 minutes. Anyways, great to be with you guys tonight. Thanks for letting me cast for you. Hope you had as good a time as I did. And again, congratulations to the victorious few. And this is Brick Panzer signing off. See you later.